Hello, it's Yaminah Legohn with the Daily Sundial. I'm here at the Sonic Playground at the GRAMMY Museum. I'm standing with the composer of the Electric Forest, Shaun Chasin. How are you doing today?
Good. Hi, how are you?
Awesome, I'm doing great. So how did you initially get involved with the Sonic Playground?
Yeah, so because I do a lot of work in video game music, they initially approached me as a consultant to just see how can we make this work on a technical level, and what is possible, what kind of can the scope of this be, and then as we got more into the weeds, technically, it became pretty obvious that I really wanted to do the music for it, and so then I gave them some references, and then eventually, I think around November, they asked me to do the music for it, and then I got to record with a whole group of terrific musicians, and yeah, now we're here.
Awesome. So what was your inspiration behind the Electric Forest?
Yeah, so in the early reference music, we knew we wanted to have a pretty interesting blend of both acoustic instruments, traditional orchestral instruments, but also electronic stuff. And so you hear, an oboe, but then you also hear a synthesizer and, a bass guitar, or, this is a banjo at some part, and we just wanted kind of an eclectic blend of things so that as users interact with it and they raise or they lower elements, they can hear different combinations that they wouldn't have expected. So there are moments where you could hear three strings playing in a more traditional harmony, but then there are moments where you might hear a cello mixed with a synthesizer mixed with a kalimba or like a weird hand percussion thing or something. And so we really wanted to give users the ability to discover the music instead of just saying this is what it is.
That's nice. So what were you hoping your listeners would feel when they're experiencing the Electric Forest?
So a big part of this, as with the exhibit as a whole, is we really wanted to empower especially young people to feel they could have some amount of control over music in a way that they might not ever have had. And so their one experience to music might have been piano lessons with the neighbor down the street who was really mean, and so they hated going, and they said from that, I don't like music. But then we wanted them to come here and maybe leave and say, I felt really cool there and in control when I could choose to bring these different elements in and combine them in different ways, and maybe I kind of want to revisit that. Maybe I want to take music lessons again or really get back. And so a big goal for us is if we can ignite or reignite passion in young people, then we've done our jobs here.
Yes, that's very inspiring, and I just want to give you kudos for the work because it's beautiful. I really love this experience. It has just been so awesome, and I just want to say I'm very proud of you because I know you put so much work into this.
I did, yeah, and there's a lot of people who put a lot of work into this. So of course, Brendan Hogan is the wizard who came up with this light concept and was one of the technical minds behind this whole thing, and without him it wouldn't be working. And obviously Jasen Emmons and Ken Burns, and then obviously the musicians. So it's not my exhibit. It's it's a group thing, and it takes a village.
It does take a village. It does take a village, and when the village works well together, you have something spectacular.
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. So is there anything you like to add or let our viewers know where they can follow you or visit your website?
Yeah, I guess my name on Instagram is just Shaun Chasin, ShaunChasin, like you're chasing a rabbit. And keep in touch.
All right, thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm standing next to the curator, Jasen Emmons. How are you doing today?
So good. So glad you're here.
Thank you so much for taking the time to work with us and give us a tour of the space. It was awesome.
My pleasure.
So what was the inspiration behind creating this space?
Well, we knew we wanted to make the museum free to everyone 17 or younger, and we felt in order to really excite that audience, we needed to create something that felt relevant to their lives, so it had to be hands-on. So we need to create something where it's about making music and not just learning about music.
Oh, that's really thoughtful. Now, what were the challenges behind curating this space?
I think knowing that when you encourage people to make music, it often creates anxiety for people. They're like, I'm not musical, I don't know how to sing, so how could we overcome that resistance and find multiple ways for people to make music, but not worry about whether they were doing it right? and get them to be basically in a state of play where they're like not worrying about it. They're just like, I'm having fun. And then realizing, oh, I'm making music.
That's the best part, having fun making music, because it could be so stressful for people, and just to have the experience to just have fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how does the exhibit reflect the legacy of Jim Long?
Well, Jim Long, one among the many things he did in the record industry was music production libraries, which not very many people know about. And so his wife, who helped fund this project, said, could you help young people understand the breadth of how many different roles there are in the music industry? So behind us, we created the soundtrack wall with 8 categories and 125 jobs to help people imagine how they could be involved. It's not just being on stage. There's so many other ways. And then we interviewed 27 people to talk about, how did you get your job as a music supervisor? How did you become a choreographer? So they could hear that and think, wait a minute, I could do that. And that's a way that I could pursue this.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love to hear that. So how do you see the Sonic Playground evolving in the future?
Well, I think we'll continue to update the content. So when you're singing or rapping, having new things that you can perform to. With the Electric Forest, we commissioned an original piece of music. I think we'll continue to commission new pieces of music. And with the Career Wall, interviewing more people. Like, we've interviewed 27 people, but I'd love to get people. We don't have any music critics, for example. There's a lot of holes, and there's a lot more stories to tell, so that's another area that I think we'll just keep adding.
Okay, that's good. Starting from the bottom, now we're here.
That's right.
That's right. Now, I heard that we share something in common. We have both worked with Shakira, the queen.
Yeah, but it's even better for you because you actually got to meet her and dance with her.
Oh, yeah, I did. It was awesome. I danced with her for the American Music Awards a long time ago, but it was an awesome experience. And how was your experience?
It was amazing. Like, I worked with her team to do an exhibit. Right when I started, we did the exhibit. It just closed about 3 months ago. But they were really helpful. They loaned us a lot of things from her personal archive. She did an interview for it that we used for a film. Amazing.
Oh.
I mean, such a smart, thoughtful, creative person.
Oh, yes, she definitely is. She's really hands-on. I enjoyed working with her. But I just definitely wanted to ask, is there anything else you'd like to add or you'd like to tell our viewers about the Sonic Playground?
I think the key thing for me is, yes, we had very much had young people in mind, but it's very much a multi-generational experience. Mm-hmm. If you come as a family, and I include grandparents, I think everyone will come away having a satisfying experience. And it'll connect you in new ways that I think will surprise you as a family member. We're seeing a lot of families coming and people being like, wait, I didn't know you played guitar, or seeing their daughter and thinking, oh my God, we got to get her music lessons. This kid's really talented. So I think the families are going to discover a lot of things about themselves.
That's so awesome. I really appreciate this experience, and I appreciate you. This has been a wonderful time here, and I look forward to seeing more of what you do in the future with the Sonic Playground.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So appreciate it.
Thank you.